Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another brand new episode. We're happy that you guys are here listening to this with us. I'm your host, Uforo, and my Ibo is with me, Jola.
Hi guys, how you doing?
So we're here at episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah,
It's an interesting journey we are taking, right, Jola?
it is. It is. It is. I'm clapping in my head.
You know something. I think about it sometimes, and I'm like, everybody is watching something, is reading something, is listening to something. Like entertainment. We're all jumping into
Mhm.
entertainment in one form
Yeah.
or another. And
Mm-hmm.
every some people are expressing themselves, but it's until you are doing it, then you actually think of that you know a lot of things, or you pay attention to so much things that you didn't even know you were paying attention to.
So yeah, I feel
Yeah,
you.
like you're picking information everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Like once you're in it, it kind of makes you more aware of some
Yeah, it's
stuff as
like
you go along.
exactly. It's like even almost becoming a job in a sense, but not really. But that kind of job where you you have to kind of pay attention and oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's something I can discuss. Oh yeah, that's something I can discuss. Because sometimes you just come
Yeah.
with topics and you're like, oh yeah, let's discuss that. All of a sudden, you're like this, and that,
Mm-hmm.
that, that.
This one
Cool.
is a bit more deliberate in a way, you know.
Yeah,
That
it
yeah, this is
is. It
content,
is.
that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. I feel
By
you.
the way, we have a thing that shall not be mentioned in this episode. I think did we mention in last episode? I think we did.
What's
So
that?
like how you have Voldemort and the name that shall not be mentioned. So we have
Yeah.
the thing that shall not be mentioned in this episode, One Piece.
Which you kind of just mentioned now, technically,
I'm
but
just no, we're just removing it from then. So now
okay.
it will be a beep if it was ever coming. Not
Hmm.
I'm not going to do edited beep. It's just going to be physical beep. Yeah, so
You're
beep
just gonna
and
say
then
beep. Okay, okay, okay. Fair enough. Let's see.
so let's start with the headlines. Yeah, you start.
Okay. So our headlines for this week or this episode is okay. So we have news about the Uncharted movie, and I'm sure a lot of people know about the Uncharted video game by Naughty Dog on PlayStation, an exclusive, and so it's been pushed. The Uncharted movie has been pushed from. It was supposed to come out in July 2021 this year, and
Mm-hmm.
it's now been pushed sadly to February
Is,
2022.
is this because of COVID? I'm just curious. Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't see like the details, so I don't know if it's COVID related or not, but I'll try to find out more. But
Yeah.
the main thing is that it's postponed, and I'm actually sad, but
Yeah, I was looking forward to watch that thing, not to dwell on it, but I was looking forward to watch it because I I cannot say I played the game as such, so I can't really say, oh,
It's an
I'm in love with
exclusive,
the
you
game.
know.
Yeah, no, no, funny. I mean, I did play Uncharted 1 and I probably played Uncharted 2, but not to completion. I just played it when I could, and that
Okay.
was it. But
Yeah.
I think it never called to me as much as God of War did. Not because it's not
Okay.
good, though, just
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Just.
it's an exclusive, so there's a little bit of that beef that is not on my side,
Hmm.
and so I never really felt that, oh, I want to play it. And I don't think
Okay.
it's as talked about as God of War is as well, like the flagship.
Mm,
It's not.
well, that's
It's
debatable,
good. It's
but
good, but I don't think it's as talked about. I can say you okay, you. If I just to ask you now, God of War, Charter, don't say, oh, they're different. Don't give me all that blah blah
no,
blah.
but you're
No,
taking the words from my. Come on, how
no,
would I
no.
say they're different? They're
I
giving me two
am no
different things.
okay.
Yeah, they're giving me
Okay.
two
I am
different
coming.
things.
Okay, what's the next? Okay, what's the next? Okay, what's the last Uncharted that came out?
Part four now, Uncharted 4.
Part 4. Okay, what's the last God of
Yeah,
War that came out?
this new one. What? It's
No,
just God of War. Like,
the
what are
one
you
that he was,
asking
the one
me?
that now, if I
With his
came to you,
son and
yeah, the one
uh-huh.
that he was even fought Loki and all those things. I think I kind of watched the storyline. If
Okay.
I came to you and I said, let's say you haven't even played it, but you probably have, so you maybe even might have a preference at this moment. Let me even say the next God of War and the next Uncharted that we don't know anything about, and I said,
There's no
choose
okay. There's
one.
no next Uncharted
Choose.
as far as we know, but
No,
go on.
I know. It's hypothetical. Play with me
Yeah.
here. I came and
Okay.
said, choose one. which one do you choose to start playing
Come on.
now? And I
No,
said,
no,
I'll give
that
you
is
no, and I said I'll give you the next one to play, and you don't have any choice. Let's say I work for Sonia, and so I
oh
can give it
god.
to you to play today. And I said, choose one to play, and then I'll give you the next one next year when it comes out. Which one do you start take first? Just a simple question.
It's
It's not
not
something
simple.
that needs no. Yes, it's not simple in
Okay,
your
fine,
brain to
fine,
complicate.
fine. I would pick God of War. But
Simple. That's
it
done.
is
Then let's okay. No
no.
more.
Oh god.
I'm,
Fine,
I'm,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay.
Let me have that win. So that's
Okay.
fine. So yeah,
Okay, so the next headline is so we have Godzilla versus Kong, a movie coming out in 2021.
did anyone come out like
Um
that before? Sorry, I'm just.
no, there was the Godzilla movie, and obviously
But there
there's
was
an old King Kong movie, but there's no Godzilla versus Kong. There
which
was
one
the
was the one
Godzilla
that
movie where they
he
yeah,
fought the Godzilla fought other things like look like Godzilla, right?
yeah, I think I don't know I can't remember the name of the movie. It was some kind of almost Pacific Rim type movie where they had
Yeah,
some
yeah.
weird things. They got some creatures and they had some machines that they were using to fight. Because I can't remember the details of the movie to be honest. I think I watched it once, maybe if at all. But yeah, something like that has been out. But Godzilla and King Kong, no, there hasn't been one. And I have to say the poster is actually cool to me
Yeah,
anyway. I thought it was cool.
I think I saw the poster. It's actually really cool. But
Yeah.
just to say one thing, and I know it might not be a let me say what's the word that comment that people don't like favorite comment or whatever. I don't remember the word for now. It just escaped me. But
Okay.
I'm not really hyped on Godzilla movies or King Kong movies as I was as a child. And I don't know, things like that used to make me like, oh my God. And maybe
Yeah,
even the cartoon. I think there was a Godzilla cartoon, if I can
I,
remember properly.
I think so. I
I
think.
used to I could never miss that cartoon like at all. It was one of those things that if it was on, I'm coming back from school, I have to watch it. Like Godzilla, I was hyped. But
Mm,
once the movie, and I've seen maybe one or two of the two movies. I'm not sure. I think I've seen the two
yeah.
movies, but
Hmm.
I've not. I think big creatures just fighting is not
It's
something that
like
calls to me.
yeah. I understand. I feel you. This is. I mean, the only reason this is actually calling to me is because of the
The
versus
poster,
thing going
yeah,
on and the poster. So I'm just curious. But usually, yes, same. I'm not bothered about the Godzilla movies or any of those Sharknado type ones either. I'm like,
yeah.
I, yeah. So
I
I
think
feel
it's
you on that.
I think it's just something that just knowing that they don't exist makes it not as not that a lot of things don't
I
exist,
won't go
obviously. No,
there.
no, 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 a lot of things don't exist. Like what I'm trying to say, a lot of things don't exist and they make sense. What I'm trying to say,
Okay.
like, okay, if it is like the human element is so out of it. That's what I feel. So I think because the
Mm,
human element is so displaced from it, and it's not like fantasy world where you have elves, you have all those
okay.
kind of creatures that kind of you can feel like a being element, like a human being, even though he's not a human being, just a different
Yeah.
species. You like feel
Yeah.
like okay.
Yeah.
So it's like almost because I cannot relate to Godzilla or I cannot relate to King
You
Kong.
can't think, oh, as Godzilla, what am I doing?
Do you understand? So because of that, I feel kind of so disconnected. And because I feel
Right.
disconnected, that's what I meant by the unreal element. Like because I feel so disconnected, it's almost like okay, it's just these are just two monsters that just came and just want to fight each other. We are just casualties.
Mm, fair enough. I mean, that's kind of what it is. They just come out, stomp, 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 and then the battle, goes on. So it's kind of just about the action, I guess. There's not much meat to the rest of it,
Yeah, that's
I think. But
that's how
yeah,
I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
yeah. Okay, and the next one is about Snyder's Cut. And to be honest, it's been Snyder's Cut left, right, and center for a
Left,
while
right,
now.
and center. This guy is just trying to just cut everybody out of the movie and just show his own thing.
I say, because the news now is that it's going to be a 4-hour movie. And I'm like, the guy just keeps going on and on about. I'm
But
like,
what cut is
guy,
he
by
doing
now,
this
just
time?
leave it and bring it out. No, it's, his own version of Batman versus Superman. Oh, no, Justice League, his own version of Justice League, right? That's what this is about. So he's
But
been
wait,
going on about it, bringing out different things about it
you
for
have been
ages
seeing
now, trying
different
to
things
hype.
now. My question
Yeah.
is when they say Schneider's cut, my question is I've not done
Mm,
much research into it because I think I saw some of those um previews like you mentioned
the clips, yeah.
and the
Yeah.
clips and they look good. But my question
Mm.
is it that Schneider Scott is that while they were acting the movie, they were also doing that part, or this was the part of the movie that did not make the movie, or is it that he got them to come and act a whole different thing again and say this is
Well,
what I would have wanted, but I didn't get it? So that's my question.
no,
Because
no,
if it's the
yeah.
latter, I'm going to be hyped. Not that I will still not watch it and I still won't feel hyped because obviously it's DC Marvel.
Mm.
You know how we feel about
Mm-hmm.
that. But I
Mm-hmm.
think if it's the latter, I'll be more hyped because it almost feels like a new movie I'm watching, even though it might feel like that.
Watching, yeah.
But if it's like
Yeah.
the former, I feel a kind of way because it's like, how did 4 hours not make it to the movie and it's so good?
A whole force, yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, as far as I see it and understand it, I think it's that they first started on the movie, and so they had done some things already when they switched directors and all that stuff, and so somebody else took over. So I think it's bits from that, and then new things. I think they got the actors to come do new things. I think. I'm honestly not sure. That's the only
But
thing I can think about. Because as you said, how does he have 4 hours that then makes a whole complete
you know,
story from start to finish?
that's
You
crazy.
know,
And
because
you know
otherwise it'll
something
be
else.
like watching outtakes. Yeah.
Exactly. And you know something else? If you got the
Mm.
actors to kind of come back and do this as a new whole thing,
Hmm.
to me, that's a
Hmm.
massive shade. It's such a massive shade. And why I say
That's
it's a
sorry,
massive,
y'all were crap before.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a massive shade that y'all were crap. We know the issues that Superman, or what's his name, Henry Cavill, yeah, had with
Henry Cavill, yeah.
DC. We know that,
Mm.
what's his name? This guy is no longer Batman. Ben
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck is no longer Batman. And we know
Mm.
that some of the issues that have happened. So if he got these people to come back and act, like, how much did he need to pay DC to do that, first of all? Secondly,
Mm.
how did he, and he got this in such a massive share. And if it is better and can stack up to, you know what, we'll leave that topic for another day, but I'll just say it in the sense that DC versus Marvel, we'll talk about it another day, especially in
Oh, of
everything
course.
that they've done. But I say if
Yes.
it stacks up to the Marvel movies that
It can't.
have come out, if it does, no, you say it
If it
can't.
does, no, fair,
If
fair, fair.
it
If it
does,
does,
no, don't
if,
say
but
exactly.
I'll whisper on the side. It
Don't
can't,
come out
but yeah.
open and end the whole thing and just say
Okay,
no.
okay, yeah. If it does, if
If
it
it
does, if
does,
it
because he
does.
has 4 hours, if he does come out to one of those things and they are really good out, we are all talking about it and we're like, wow, that's good.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's just a blow. That's just a low blow, like
A
butt
little bit.
shots.
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. We'll see. We'll see when it comes out, you know.
Yeah,
Okay, so
so
what's
on to the
next? What do
next.
you have next for us?
Yeah, Netflix apparently surpassed 200 million subscribers. That's insane. That's
That is
basically,
insane. I mean, I'm not surprised to be honest. It's
no, I'm
Netflix,
not
right?
surprised. And this calls for
But
another
yeah,
topic
I'm
that I
happy
want
for
us to
them.
discuss. This calls for another, but before
Yeah,
I get into another topic, one
yeah.
in every 39 people apparently on Earth are paying for Netflix. That's insane. And
It is.
and we know how many people are sharing accounts. So you know, you know that one in 39
Oh
people,
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, no,
one in
they know
39
this
people,
now.
then
They
the
know
other
that.
one in 39 people will pay for the account. Then the other like 10 of the 39 people are using the
Are
account.
sharing.
You know how many times someone they just call me from somewhere, just say,
Yeah.
Otto, I call my name.
Oh,
Again, anyways, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
I
you
don't
know.
mind.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
people just call me and say, Uforo, uh, do you do you have a Netflix account? I'm like, okay. Like, can you send me details? And
Yeah.
let's see. And if you do send it, all of a sudden, all your whole
Oh,
TV show just get messed
your
up.
shows. Yeah,
Everything
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
you just
All your
messed.
suggestions and everything
You know
gets
what?
messed up. You can always tell when someone else has been
You
there. You're
can
like,
tell when
what?
someone else has been there. You know what?
I wasn't watching this.
If someone was single, yeah, and this is just a crazy out there story. If someone was single, you had a
Mm,
Netflix account, and then you maybe you're dating somebody, and then you gave the person to use your Netflix account, and then you can see the kind of movies that they're watching. So let's just say, like, I'm a guy, a lady,
mm-hmm,
and I'm not saying
mm.
ladies always watch those kind of movies, but I'm just being very, very left and right here. So I'm
Stereotypical.
watching,
Okay.
yeah, I'm being stereotypical. So
Yeah.
forgive me, that's not what I mean. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching action movies, she's watching romantic movies. So I can tell from that the way it's suggesting things that okay, I watch this kind
Yeah.
of action movies and she watches this
Yeah.
romantic movie. Let's just say she now starts cheating on me, and then she gives her boyfriend, her boo, the
Boo.
Netflix account to start using. Next thing I start seeing some weird ass horror movies that I don't watch, and I
That
know
you
she
know
doesn't like
what?
horror. I know she doesn't like horror. Can you imagine how many people have been caught cheating because of shared
Ah,
Netflix accounts?
yeah. On top Netflix, you're like, what happened? You're like, it's Netflix, man. And it's like, what a funny story. Like, what a funny reason.
Yeah. I just thought about it. I said that's going to be a funny way to catch somebody,
Yeah, yeah.
which will lead to another topic that I want to discuss, which is about the streaming companies. But that's some another for another day. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the last one I saw it came up as a news, and then you also saw it as well. And it's
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft is part wants to patent chatbots of for dead people. So
Creepy.
I kind of skimmed through it. I didn't read deeply into it, but I was like,
Same.
I like you guys are just battling all these 5G stories and all these
As in,
vaccine
adding to
stories.
the
And then you
conspiracy,
want to
man.
add this, oh, you're giving people the field day. You're going to give people
As in,
message to
fueling
talk
the
about.
fire.
They'll tell you that, oh, because of the people you killed from COVID, you've gone to go and want to use them to make money. Ugh.
Oh my days. Oh my days. Yeah.
I skipped
Like,
it and I'm like, I don't think this is the best time to do this kind of
to
thing.
do this, like where there's so much like loss of life, although unless that's their selling point, like, oh, the loved ones
Yeah,
you've
but
lost
that no, no, but
can help you.
that's a creepy selling point still.
It is a
Like
creepy selling point. It's like you're
I don't
using my, you're selling on
exactly.
my based on my grief or whatever, but it's
Yeah,
business, right?
it's business. It's but it's creepy.
It's crazy. It is
I mean,
creepy, absolutely.
it's creepy. I can't say any other thing other than that. I mean,
Yeah.
look at if you want to have a feel for it, you can check out the movie called TV show called Upload because it's a kind of creepy in that sense as well. But Upload at
Okay.
least was a little bit more, and I know you've not seen it, and maybe you should see
No.
it as well. But
Mm-hmm.
it's something that is on Amazon Prime, another of these streaming people,
Yeah.
and then it's what's the name? It's like some people if people are critically ill or
Yeah.
people are about to die, or maybe
Mm.
you go through a crazy accident, you can get
Mm-hmm.
your whole brain uploaded into a server.
Mm.
And the server is that you can still continue speaking with people, you can still continue like a life in its sense, but they
Life
call
in a sense,
yeah,
yeah.
but these servers are kind of called heaven in a
Oh
sense, but they're
God.
not really heaven, but that's what it
Yeah.
is. So
Yeah.
and the richer you are, you can get the best kind of heaven, the exclusive
Mm.
ones, the ones that
Mhm.
you can play golf continuously, you have a lovely house, you have
My
this, you have
goodness.
that, you can live this kind of life. And some
And
people
if
even
you are not
upload
rich,
themselves. Exactly. If you're not rich, you go to some of the broke ones that
yeah,
and then the worst part of it all, you still spend money in the heaven.
in the
So it's not like,
afterlife.
yeah,
Oh
that's the
goodness.
worst part. So you can actually get broke that they now either have to, they would either kick you out. They can't kick you out of the heaven because that will kill you. They can't sell you to somebody else. But what
Yeah.
happens is that I think if you get broke, which is a spoiler in a sense, but kind of,
Okay.
well, not really, but I can just say it because not everybody is watching it. So
Okay.
if you lose all your money, you kind of so you don't have data anymore. So if you don't have
Uh,
data anymore,
then
what
they
happens is
can't
that
contact you.
no, not even that they give you a certain amount of data every month. So they'll give you only like let's say 5 gig every month as
Yeah.
like passive just because you're on the server, you can get those 5 gig every month. So
Okay.
normally, if you finish that 5 gig by maybe even talking, doing some settings, because talking takes data, everything takes data. So if you
Mm-hmm.
finish that 5 gig, what happens is that you just get paused in a space and you can't move. You're uncolored.
Wow.
It's crazy. So you're in hell in a sense.
Jeez. That's just okay. Well, anyway, let me not go into that.
So just like and this talking about this chatbots of dead people, imagine what this glitch in the server. What would the person's grandfather start telling them? A B
Oh
B B
my
B.
god.
It's creepy. It's creepy.
Yeah.
We know tech is not infinite, so it's creepy.
Oh well, that's what we're coming to.
So
Anyway,
yeah, on to this main content. You want to start us off?
yeah, sure. Okay, so well, we're on a Spider-Man thing for our main content, should I say?
Obviously, you can see the
Because
name of the the episode. We're
yeah,
diving
the
into
name of
Spider.
the episode, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it was just like I'm a Spider-Man fan, of course.
Same,
I mean, it's Marvel,
guilty.
yeah, and so right from having to Maguire start us
Mm.
off way back when in 2002, moving on to Andrew Garfield, moving on to Tom Holland, who's our current Spider-Man, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he's came out first in 2017. I'm sure most people know this.
Mm. But it was introduced in Civil
Well,
War, right?
2016. Yeah, yeah, he was introduced in Civil War first.
That was a sick
Actually,
introduction,
I
by
think
the way.
it was very good. And yeah, and that I'm sure he's been in other stuff before that, but this franchise pretty much launched his career from then on. Because I mean, lately now he's like
He's
being
like that
he's
face
been
of this thing. He's like that face of Hollywood at the moment, in a sense. Well, not face. So let me not say he's a face.
face, but he's like spotlight is on
He's
him.
yeah, the
He's one of those
spotlight is
people.
on him.
Yeah.
He's like getting
Yes,
a lot of movies. But even
he
let's go
is.
back. Let's dial it back a little bit before we jump
Mm,
into even talking about Tom Holland as the person. Let's dial it back
okay.
a little bit. Now, the age-old question. Let me just know for you. The one that everybody is always that at least comes out in a poll once in every two
Is that
years or something.
which Spider-Man you
Who is
prefer?
Spider-Man is the which do you prefer? And I know everybody always polls for Tobey Maguire, and I don't know whether it is a
They do
nostalgia thing.
actually.
I don't know
They
whether it's a
do
nostalgia thing. You know how you like old school hip hop more than you like the new things or things like
new
that.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
is it like because you were younger, it touched your child self in a sense, even though you're not a child, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Does does
Yeah.
that make you pull to Tobey Maguire
Um,
more than the rest? Because
well, to be
I
honest, go on, go on, go
sorry,
on.
sorry, because I find answering that question very difficult. Me myself,
Me
because
too.
the way people, almost everybody have asked that question or that conversation has come in. I mean, I probably even heard it at work at some point. So I would say, "Oh,
Hmm.
Tobey Maguire, Tobey Maguire, Tobey Maguire,
They
Tobey
answer
Maguire."
quickly, yeah? Yeah,
So
yeah.
quick, and I sit down and I think to myself, and I said, I enjoyed Andrew Garfield as a Spider-Man. I enjoyed the whole
Hmm.
when Jamie Foxx was the bad guy.
Jamie Foxx.
I also
Mm.
enjoyed
Well,
what's his name. I did enjoy the movie. I'm not going to lie. Yes, there were
okay.
some things about it, but I enjoyed the movie. And then
Mm.
I enjoyed Tom Holland and all the other movies that have come out. And I did enjoy Andrew. I mean, sorry, I said Andrew Garfield already. And I did enjoy Tobey Maguire. And I can see a lot
Mm-hmm.
of problems in each of them that I didn't like, in the sense that
Mm.
a lot of them had issues. So I was trying to weigh out the pros and cons, and I was trying to come out. I mean, I was still leaning towards Tobey Maguire, but I
Yeah.
was,
Okay.
I was trying to weigh out the pros and cons and trying to say, hmm. Now, if you say what is the best Spider-Man movie, I think it might make sense to say Tobey Maguire gave us the best movies.
Mm.
I feel
Mm-hmm.
looking at it, if I'm not trying to be biased based on
I
tech,
agree.
tech and
Based on
everything,
tech.
like
Okay, yeah, sure.
because
Because
tech,
I mean, one is further on. I mean, they had
yeah,
better.
they had
Yeah,
better tech, obviously, and it's in the
yeah.
yeah, we like if in the past is in the future, should I say,
Of course.
many
Of
years
course.
against each other. So yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think as a Spider-Man, as a person, um, I keep yes, all their names, all they're just all mumbled in my head. So Tobey Maguire was just like I feel it was like the that real Spider-Man of he was broke, like the real
Okay.
original. He was broke. He Mary J was really like Mary J. You get what I'm trying to say? It wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
a different version of Mary J that was kind of different. The story
Okay.
was kind of very close to the original and everything that they kind of did. Not and obviously there are many types of Spider-Man. Even in the cartoon, there were different
There are
Spider-Man
different versions of
universities.
him.
So
Yes.
it's not like
Universe.
okay,
Yeah.
but that was the one that we watched a lot. Like that one,
Mm-hmm.
especially as a child, that's who Peter Parker, photographer, everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was that he was the I think it was the best in the movies. The movies were like the best type of the best type, and especially that last the third Spider-Man 3 when he became Venom. That was so sweet for me.
Right. Well,
And
I
he
mean, yeah,
didn't
yeah,
care.
yeah. I agree. Though I didn't appreciate the entire part of that Spider-Man 3. The intro was what I loved, that fight at the
Yeah,
beginning, because he
yeah,
already didn't when he was fighting with Harry. I loved that because he had started not caring and he beat the
yeah.
crap out of him.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So I like that. But getting towards the end, there were some dicey
No, no,
things
no,
there that
no.
I was like,
I think it was all at the same time that I enjoyed it and all that. It was also the worst of the three. To me,
oh yeah,
it was
two
the
two
worst of
is
the
the
three.
best.
Yeah,
Three is the worst. Two is the
three is
best
yeah.
to me,
Now,
anyway. You know,
now I go
go on.
into Andrew. I go into Andrew Garfield. I go into Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield was like, to me, it felt so safe as is like it
Okay,
was that
as a
kind of
pick for
safe.
Spider-Man,
No, not even just the peak, as the movies were safe. It didn't
the
feel
whole
like
movie. Okay,
the whole movie was safe. I'm just looking at the movie, the story, everything right now. I'm not even looking at the kind of
okay,
Spider-Man. I said the movie was
yeah.
safe. Even the character was kind of safe in the sense that he
Mm-hmm.
was he was a cool he felt like he was a cool kid, even though probably he wasn't, but like everything was kind of safe. They went with this guy that was just safe. And I enjoyed still I not I did not enjoy the movie, but it just felt safe. Then Tom Holland's own Spider-Man story side, they kind of try to merge the two elements. I think what a bit of
Together, yes.
originality and a bit of also that kind of safeness, but like progressive Spider-Man, they try to merge it because as much as we look at it, what's his name? Tom Holland is not like an uncool kid like that. You get what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah.
it's just in the forward world that we live in at the moment.
Mm.
So some things are they kind of try to use that story to kind of, catch on to people that are like, this is what we live, this is the reality of the world right now. So the reality of the Spider-Man in a world right now would be like
Yeah,
this.
would be like
So
Tom.
and I think
Yeah.
that's disconnect some people might have and still go back to Tobey Maguire because that underdog
Was very strong in
was
that one, in
very, very
Toby's own.
strong.
Yes, yes.
And
That
that is how
underdog thing was
Spider-Man
strong there.
has, especially that
Movie.
first movie where he fought Flash and then he became muscular. He was skinny, then became muscular. Therefore,
Yes.
like that
They
whole part,
focused on it. That whole thing with yeah, they did. They did that well, actually. They did that well. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. Because I mean, clearly you've weighed out the cons and the pros and whatever, and you are going towards Toby, and I found that difficult too. But I'm going towards Toby as well, um, because I like Andrew. He had that whole bumbling, I talk too much thing.
yeah,
Toby Maguire doesn't talk that much as a
he didn't
Spider-Man.
have
He
it.
doesn't.
He
No, he
didn't have
didn't have it,
that's why I
but we
said it was
didn't
like
mind though.
safe. Yeah, we didn't mind, but he didn't
Yes,
have it.
we didn't mind, but he didn't have it. Yes,
Andrew Garfield
had
had
it.
that complete like I think I'm a funny guy kind of thing that Spider-Man always
Yes.
feels like that. I'm always talking, always doing
But
this,
that's how
always
he
have
was in the
something to talk
cartoon.
back.
He was
And that's
always
how I was in
talking.
the comic. Or he always talks
Yes.
back. He's just annoying.
Yes. Yes. Too much. Too much, actually.
Which is what they also try to do with Tom Holland as well. Try to
But
have that
not
talk
too
back,
much.
not too much,
Yes.
but
Yes.
that element. As I said, it was like a merge. They looked at what they
Merge
did with
between the two.
Toby. They looked at what they did with Andrew. They tried to get
Mm-hmm.
into
Mm-hmm.
this thing. But if it comes to Spider-Man as not the story, not everything, and not the actor, I'm not putting the actor. I'm trying to say like the character in the movie. I feel like Tom Holland is the best, and I'm not even talking about gadgetry. I feel like the emphasis on his strength made him the
On it.
best for me.
Yes. Yes.
That made
Because in
him
the
the
others,
best to
he
me.
seemed more like
He
a
seemed like
normal
a
guy
yeah,
who is flexible
yes.
and he
And
shoots
Spider-Man
webs.
is
That's it.
actually strong.
Very strong. Yes.
The normal Spider-Man is actually strong. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things happened in like in Tobey Maguire's or in Andrew Garfield's or maybe there was a moment of strength. Like I think Tobey Maguire was kind of holding the car up or something like that.
Yeah,
One
holding a
of the
building when it was about to crush.
yes, and all those things. But
Yeah,
because of they did not emphasize on his strength
emphasize.
earlier,
Yes,
it felt
yes,
like it didn't feel like something that we paid at like I didn't pay
yeah.
notice to the fact that he is strong because there was no
Mm-hmm,
emphasis on wait, he is strong.
mm-hmm,
So to
mm-hmm.
me, that holding up that whole thing, I gave it to the web more than him.
Yeah, it was more of an afterthought. Like, oh, okay. So
Yeah.
did he
Even when
string
he's
something to it? Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
feel
even
you.
when he even did the train as well. I think it was he that had the
Oh, the
train as well.
train. Yes, he did. He did. But I think again with that, I think we were more focused on not necessarily strength, just the fact that what he managed to do with the webs and
Yes,
on the buildings. It was just the whole aesthetic looking great, not so much, oh
yes,
my god,
on
he's
this,
so
like he's
strong.
strong, which is
Yeah.
what, and I think maybe they, I don't know if they noticed or they knew,
Mm.
but it's something that in this new Spider-Man, especially Civil War, they
They showed
made
us
us
from the
know
get-go.
he is strong,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think
Oh,
that
sure.
was. You're laughing because you kind of just had a flashback into that moment in the movie, right?
Absolutely. I just thought of the moment he cut
That's
the
the
moment
moment.
he cut the Winter Soldier's arm, and it
Yeah,
was like, oh, and it was like
yeah.
nothing.
It was
And the
like
guy was so
nothing.
shocked. The guy was surprised.
I think that's exactly. You know what? It's funny because when I wasn't talking about the moment, I just said they told us, and we both went to that moment, and I'm sure anybody listening that has
Yes,
watched the movie would have gone to that moment as well. And that was
absolutely.
when I had a jaw drop moment at that point because up until then in my head Spider-Man was not strong, and then all of a sudden
Hmm.
I'm like, wait, this guy's
He
strong.
is, oh, yeah, yeah. Like, oh, yeah, he actually is, you know?
I mean, Winter
Yeah,
Soldier was beating everybody's ass, should I say? And then all of a
yeah.
sudden, somebody like popping you down like you're nothing. Like, oh,
Like, you're
what are you
nothing.
doing?
Just cut it, like,
I mean, even when he cuts this guy's shield, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
guy, yeah, we know you're strong. As a cool, don't. So almost like they made him OP, they made him
yeah.
overpowered, and it made so much sense because now I felt like, and I think that's what kind of drew me into him as the
Mm.
Spider-Man because I was like, this is it. They made him short, which was kind. Oh well, he's short actually.
Well,
Not that
not
they made him short.
he is short, but he's also supposed to be young, like young, young. The others
Yes,
were supposed to be young, but they didn't look that young. He
no, they
actually
didn't.
looks that
He looks like
age.
it, yeah, exactly. So I think
Yes,
a teenage Spider-Man, not the one that has probably
yes.
started. He's not someone that started working. So I think I can. That's
No,
why I can give him that he doesn't have the originality of the hardship like the rest might have had.
mm,
It's because he's still in school and all those kind of things.
yes.
They
Although
made
he's
obviously
actually how old now? He's like 25 now. Obviously,
in
that
real
was
in real life
26
or
in real
in
life. No, no, in real
oh
life.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. He's about
No, no.
25 or so.
You know the thing about movies now. That's how the other day, not to go off point, but not the other day, like many, many years ago, when I did not understand age in movie and I didn't really understand that how they make old people act young roles. It was one of those
Mm-hmm.
things that I was watching one of these TV shows, and I think it was someone in high school or something like that, or a movie. And I looked at this girl, I'm like, oh yeah, this girl. Like, and then in my head, I'm like, this, when you look at the person, you're like, she's attractive or something like that. You're not wondering, you now go and Google the person. And in the whole thing, they're meant to be like
Mm-hmm.
17 or something like that. Next time I'll see like 35.
All
I'm like,
right.
Jesus. And I
I
think that was when
know.
and
You're
I
like,
think that was
what?
I'm like, oh, so this is what you guys do, yeah? This is what y'all are doing.
Yo, as in, this is a whole different thing. Because even not to go again, like even Glee, all those guys in Glee that were in high school, they are all old. They are old mamas and papas, to be honest. But anyway, let me not dive into that.
We will keep that for another whole topic, another topic that we are going to go into and talk about because
Yeah.
you're right. But yeah, going back into this, and I think that's one of those things that resonated with me with him. And
Mm.
I'm not going to say the stories have been great because
What do you mean his
Homecoming,
stories? Like
Homecoming
the
was
actual movie?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Homecoming to me, I'm just saying, not going to say the
Mm.
story. The Homecoming, which one came first? Because Homecoming was
Homecoming
second.
first and Far From
What's the
Home. Yeah,
second
yeah.
one? Far From
Far
Home.
From Home.
I think
Mm.
Homecoming was okay for me. It wasn't like I would say, oh, especially, and why I'm saying okay because it's coming from the Marvel universe. It's not like the other
Mm-hmm.
ones that were not like necessarily in the Marvel universe.
Straight
The
on
other ones
Marvel. Yeah,
were
yeah.
the other ones were Sony, I think. So
Yeah.
it's coming from the Marvel universe, and that's another
Mm-hmm.
topic for another day. That whole Sony thing, but let's leave it.
Yeah.
It coming from Marvel universe, coming from the back of all the super crazy good movies that have been coming out from Marvel,
Mm,
and especially
mm.
in those recent years where they brought out Thor Ragnarok, which was the
Yes.
best Thor, one of the best Marvel movies
Yes.
that they brought out, or
Mm.
even the only Thor self, because I'm canceling the rest.
Oh
And
my.
then
No, no. Okay. But don't bait me. Go on. Go
no,
on.
I'm not going to bait you. I did it on purpose because I know you have a thing about it. So I said it and I just wanted to bait you, but I won't do it. Then
Okay.
coming from what's his name, Black Panther, rest in peace, or
Yes.
yeah.
R.I.P.
Then
Chadwick.
coming from Chadwick Boseman, coming from all those other movies that came out around that time, even Doctor Strange was good for me as well, and so many of
Mm-hmm.
them. So I think for me, it wasn't one of the. It was good. Don't get me
But
wrong, but
story-wise,
it
weaker than
wasn't
some of the
yeah
others.
weaker than yes. It's like
Okay.
just like how to me Captain Marvel was weak in the whole
Oh, okay.
yeah
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
storyline fact
That
it
one
was
has its
weak.
own things. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so I think they've not given me the strongest, and I don't know whether it's because of their again, no offense to Sony, but I don't think whether it's because of the whole it had to be a collab with Sony, and it wasn't like they would have had to have the full ownership of the movie. I don't know whether
Mm.
that had anything to do with it because Sony movies that are the Marvel movies have not been great. They have
No,
not.
but Toby's one was Sonny, wasn't it?
No, no,
Oh,
that
it's
was back then. No, it was Sony,
okay.
but that was back
Yes.
then a little bit, and that was,
Okay.
and we had that feeling for Spider-Man, and we're being introduced,
Uh,
and then obviously story wise, we still gave it the best. So that was
yeah.
a good Sony movie, but the rest, whether it's Fantastic Four and all of the rest,
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes.
it's not been good.
It's not
So
been good. Yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's something that made me think, and I'm like, is this is does that have anything to do with it or not?
To do with it. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Actually, I've never thought about that in terms of Far From Home. As you said, it's a great movie, but it's weaker on the story side. Not as compelling in a way. It has great action, all that stuff,
It
great,
does,
and the
it
story is
does.
not terrible. It's just
It's
not
not.
as strong,
It's not as
especially
strong.
when you
And
compare to other origin stories, as you said. So yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah, and a movie like there are some characters that we all resonate with. Like if you're talking about Spider-Man, Deadpool, some of these
Oh
characters
gosh, yeah.
that are like, okay, if they bring out their movie, you feel like the movie can
Mm.
stand alone from everybody else and give you a good story that you're like, oh my God, you would just be zoned in. It doesn't need to be connected with anything. It will give you a good story. And you know that these guys will do an awesome job. Like there's so much to pick from in the lineup of what they have, so much information, so much things from the comics, whatever they want to pick from and create something beautiful, they can do it. So when you are expecting so much, I think also because of how expectant we are, and then the story doesn't kind of give you all you want, it's almost like, I mean, you don't feel you like it, you enjoy the action, you enjoy everything, but you feel a type of way.
Mm.
So that's how it did for me. It was good and everything. I love the end of the movie though. I love the end.
Of
Far from
Homecoming.
home. Yeah, far
Oh,
from
Far
home.
From Home.
I
Okay.
love the end.
The
I
whole
love
intro, like what sets you up for what comes next, and with.
yeah. I love the end that it wasn't happy. It wasn't in the sense that everything is good. It looked like
Mm,
chaos was
yes, yes,
coming.
yes. That's
So
fair. That's fair.
that was good. That was a good thing for the story.
Mm,
Well,
mm.
if they
And
continue, I don't know.
oh no, I mean the new one is gonna come out now. It's just
Yeah,
is
no, when I mean
I
if
mean
they continue, because for the fact that we heard, I think it's one of the things we also were going to mention, fact that we
yeah,
heard about the fact that in the new one, the other Spider-Man actors are going to be might be part of it.
coming up in there.
Yeah,
Yes,
I don't
yes,
know. Is it
yes.
confirmed yet?
I think I don't know. I think at this point it's almost confirmed. Too many sources have said it. Like the
Yeah.
other guys from like Toby and Andrew are going to be in there, and some of the baddies as well are supposed to also come back. So it's like, what are they trying to do? And we haven't mentioned at all, but it's seeming like we're getting some kind of Into the Spider Verse, the
Which
animated movie version,
that was an
vibe to it.
awesome movie.
Yes. Now, if
That's
you're talking about any Spider-Man in total, any, like whether it's real people or cartoon, then I'll go
into
with
this.
that. No offense.
Yeah,
It
in
was
no
too cool.
offense to me, Into the
Yeah, yeah,
Spider-Man
yeah,
was
yeah.
actually the best.
Very cool.
All of
Very
the
cool.
story, every single
Everything, and I
thing.
love the way they animated it. It
Yeah,
was just
it was
comic
awesome.
come to life.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
and I think
Music, great.
this is
Everything.
exactly the music. I mean, I played that song before that the movie came out. I already had the
Yeah.
song and I played it a lot. And then when the movie came out, I played it some more. so,
The one
so
he was
yeah,
bopping his head to, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
I
Post
don't remember
Malone.
his name,
Post
but
Malone, and yeah,
okay.
it's Post Malone. Yeah, I'm right. I'm right. Right. Am I right? I'm not
You're
sure.
asking yourself. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because I know him, but yeah, it's definitely Post Malone. Yeah, I'm correct. I'm sure
Okay.
someone will agree with me that is listening to this. But yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm singing the song in my head. I don't want to sing it loud because I have a horrible voice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
No, I kind of want you to sing it now, but yeah, okay,
no,
let's
it's
go
not
on.
gonna
Let's
have.
go
It's
on.
not gonna have. The best I can do for you is.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's the best I can do for you. Outside that, I'm not
Fair
singing.
enough.
You guys
Fair
are not
enough.
going to
Fair
catch me.
enough.
Maybe episode 100, I'll sing. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Okay. We hear that. We hear
That
that.
time I would
The
have gone
beginning was
out.
enough. Don't worry. You have gone for what?
I said that time I'll go for vocal training, sorted out my
Ah,
diaphragm, come in and
okay.
drop some bars. Ha! You guys will not
Oh,
hear.
okay. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting.
So yeah, I think that was the best. I agree, and that's something I'm talking about. Like you have someone to pull from. You can make some because
Mm.
I don't even know whether I've read any of the comics that have I've seen that. So the story felt so original. Into the
Oh,
Spider Verse,
yes.
everything felt so good. Like what I'm trying to say is that at every point and every turn of the movie, it was also modernized. Like how you would look at Tom
Yes.
Holland's Spider Man, like it's in the modern
Spider-Man.
era
Yes.
or even a
Mm-hmm.
more modern era self. And
Mm-hmm.
so with all that, I felt so. Yes, we can give it and say, oh, it's animated, but not that they cannot do that in real life as well. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
say, I
But it
mean,
has
Marvel
that.
are that good. Yeah,
Yes.
but I'm trying to say like it. The story I was in it.
Was.
I felt it. It was
Yes.
good.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Good. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which is how, that's exactly what I'm trying to say about movies like Spider-Man and some of those ones that you feel like there's so much to pull from that if you decide to make a movie, it's going to be good. It should be really
Mm-hmm.
good in every, like, it should be 8 to 9 over 10 or 8 to 10 over 10 in every aspect, whether
Mm-hmm.
story, whether um, graphics or what a CGI animation, whatever you want to
Like it
use, whether
just
it's real,
scores 10/10
and
in
then
every way.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then the fights as well, and when you pick the fight scenes, the villain you're going to use as well,
Yes. Very
the
important.
the characters, the supporting characters, everybody like
Mm.
has to be on their A game. If not, the movie can fall apart. Like it's one of those things that you don't need one person to be off. Everybody
Yeah.
has to be on as much as the
Yeah.
main character himself. So yeah.
Yeah. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. But yeah, it's like the vibe from that movie is what people are suspecting might be coming up with the new
But
Tom
that's
Holland
that
movie, Spider-Man. Yeah.
that's a
But
heavy
but
cost though. That's a heavy burden or heavy
to
thing
put
because
all that right,
to
I know,
try
but
it because it was so good. Into the fact if we are talking about Into Spider-Verse this good.
it
So
is. I
what we
don't
are
think they would try to
expecting,
copy it like for like,
no, I
but
don't want
maybe
them to
the
copy it like
vibes
for
from
like.
it.
No,
Yeah.
we would want something better than that. That's what I'm trying to say. Because
Yeah.
now, whenever someone carries an anime, anytime we watch something, whether it's a cartoon, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
a manga, whether it's an anime, whatever we've
Mm-hmm.
read, and then
Mm.
someone creates a movie of it. Like I think when they created the Bleach movie or created some of those
Oh
things in movie
gosh, the
form,
live actions. Yes.
yeah, all those live actions, we all come into that. I mean, we've watched horrible ones but every
Yes.
time it's like a relationship that they keep cheating on you. We all have
Um.
we all have watched that. We know that the past has been bad, but every time we tune into the live action or whatever it is, we believe that we're going to see awesomeness, and then we get
Mm.
burnt again and again. So it's like we're coming into this whole Spider-Man. Is it three? I guess I think it's three, right?
Yes, it will be three. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're coming to this whole Spider-Man 3 feeling we've seen into the Spider-Verse. I think it was even the last one that came out before this one that would come out.
Mm-hmm.
So we're coming from into the Spider-Verse. You've given us something that our mouths were wet. We enjoyed it. We talked about it after. We enjoyed every aspect of it. So now we're
Mm.
coming into this one, forgetting almost everything you've done in the past, and we're like, and now you're bringing the whole spider. You're bringing the two Spider-Mans that one, and everybody has a favorite. If someone did not like Tobey Maguire,
Yes.
they would have liked Tom Holland. If someone did not like Tom Holland, they would have liked Andrew Garfield, and so on
Mm-hmm.
and so therefore. So if we are coming into that with all this energy, and then you give us something that's just has an 8/10 in any of those aspects, it's going to be painful.
No, but I mean, come on, at least you know what. And to throw shade or not throw shade at DC, but this is Marvel. If anybody can do it, it's them. So we shouldn't worry too much.
No,
You
but
know,
that's what
this is not
but
gonna
that's
be
again,
Justice
but
League.
that's that's the thing, dude. Oh, you
So
know what? No, let's no, don't bait me because again, as I you don't want me to bait, you didn't want me to bait, you don't bait me. I'm not going to talk about
okay, okay,
Justice League
okay.
today. I'm not going to do
Yeah.
it. I'm staying on brand.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, let's move on to other things, but which is even more into Tom Holland as a character because I think
Yeah,
I'm just all the things I'm seeing that he's bringing out, they look so good.
they
So
do.
many movies are
Yeah.
coming out, and I've seen some of these. I need to watch the one on Netflix that was last year, Devil in
Or
May
the
time.
devil all the
Or the all the
time. Yeah,
time. Sorry, Devil all the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
seen it. Have you
I've
seen it?
seen it actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's you know what? It's very different for Tom, which is great, and that's why the spotlight
And
is on
that's
him. He's
great.
really
That's
showing us his acting chops,
by the
right?
way. By the way,
Yeah,
you know that
yeah.
he used to do theater, right? And he was on Broadway. Did you know?
No, no.
That's
But
what I'm, so he did he's actually quite good at acting. Like even better than
okay.
quite good at acting. Like
Yeah,
he used
yeah.
to do theater. I think he even did
Okay.
Spiderman in the theater itself at some point.
Oh, interesting.
And then I'm not I need to fact check that, but I believe that's where I
Yeah.
even heard of that he was even going before he even became the next Spider-Man, or they said
Mm.
it someone in Broadway is becoming the next Spider-Man, or he did Spider-Man in
Mm-hmm.
Broadway. I know that
Mm-hmm.
one or the other happened, so I'm not so sure, but I know that he's been in theater since he was young, and
Mm.
then he became on Broadway. So if anybody didn't know, now you know.
That's
He's
good.
yeah, so he's had some acting. I mean, he's had a lot of
Yes.
acting, and people that come from Broadway and all those things, they are very good at acting. Like it's something that
Yeah.
they embody it very well. And then he
Yeah.
had some movies leading up to Spider-Man, but
Of
coming into
course.
Marvel's franchise, coming
Was
into
really
was that like,
launching
okay,
pad. Yeah.
who is Tom Holland? And everybody's like, yes, we're seeing you now. We can see you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's giving him that platform. And all of a sudden, he's getting calls for, I'm sure his agent is working very hard, getting calls
As
for all these
in,
movies. And
he's hot right now, so you know.
he's hot. He's hot. You know, like how this guy used to be hot. All these, whether it was DiCaprio at some point, or whether it was the guy that
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean,
Oh, Johnny Depp, yeah.
Johnny Depp at some point, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody has their
Mm-hmm.
moments. He's having
Mm.
his moment right now,
Moment now, yeah.
and it looks like he's diversified into different aspects of it, not even just
Definitely.
like staying in this action lane. He's doing some thriller
Definitely.
things, doing some
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
weird, maybe
because
weird stuff that is going on.
that devil all the time is it's kind of like a thriller drama because there's some creepiness in there, and so it's not an action kind of thing at all. It's very story driven. It's a bit of a slow progressing thing as well,
Was
and the
but it
acting in there is different. Hmm.
was his story good before? Because
No,
I would like to know.
the story is good, but don't. But I have to just say it's a slow starter.
No, I
So
don't mind slow
a
starters.
lot of the stuff is like building, telling you, and there's a bit of going back and forth in time to show you some stuff that happens.
Yeah,
So then, as you get like close to the last quarter of the movie, everything comes together. It's one of those type of movies.
yeah,
Then
no,
you
no, I
get,
definitely like
you
those
know,
movies. I
yeah,
definitely like this one. I'm going to enjoy it.
yeah,
Even moving on to, I think there's another one, Chaos Walking. I seen it. I've seen the preview. Kind of looks
the
similar to
preview.
this kind of Devil or that in a sense that it's going to be
Does it?
another. No, not the same. Like it feels like another thinker in a way. Like not
Oh,
thinker,
okay,
like the thriller, something that is going to build up. You're not going to just jump into.
into it. Okay, because I was
Yeah.
getting when you said similar, I was like, because I was getting more of a sci-fi vibe from it
No, no,
because
I meant
of
like yeah. I just meant like in the whole. It's going to. It's not going.
like
It's going to give you some different kind of vibe to it, not just straight to
okay.
the
Straight
point.
to yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
this is
fair
a bad
enough.
guy, this is a good guy. Like we're not going to
Yeah.
just go into all of that a little bit. It's going to be,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then you mention your favorites. You know you want to say it. Say it.
My favorite one. My favorite one. Oh, what I
Uncharted,
mean that is coming
Uncharted,
up.
Uncharted. That's
We
it,
mentioned
Uncharted.
it already now. We've
Uh,
mentioned it already. So it's not like I need to throw it in your face. But hey, you're giving me the platform. So yeah, Uncharted is coming out. It's been pushed sadly, but yes, it's coming
I mean,
out.
no, it's
So
him that is
that's
doing it.
good.
That's what I said. Mention your favorite because it's still the same Tom Holland that is in
Yes.
Uncharted.
Yeah, I
So
know.
yeah,
But I am worried too. I am a little bit worried because video games to movies, it never works
It's
out
another
very well,
it's
except
another
for
thing
maybe
like that
Prince of
whole
Persia.
we mentioned it's
Yes.
another thing that it comes from you come in with this thing and then they have so much story to pull. And I think it's because they have so much to pull from
Yes.
that when they now,
From
when
yes.
they either pull and they, when they pull something, like I think if someone, not to, I keep going back because I'm trying to say it in a proper way. Like when they pull from the
Okay.
story, if they pull from the story well enough, like there's some people that pull from the game or pull from the anime, or that they pull it so well
Mm-hmm.
that they give me the initial bits, skip whatever they need to skip, give me some good bits, skip whatever I need to skip, and get to a favorable end. And when I mean a favorable
Okay.
end, not an end that is a cliffhanger, but an end that
Mm.
can close the arc. Should I say, if I'm using anime terms, an end that
Okay.
closes the arc, and then you felt like you that watched the anime, you that read the book, you that did whatever you did or watched
Mm.
the cartoon are able to fill in those gaps on your own and know that okay, you know a lot of other things happened, but based on this arc, this is correct.
This is
Now,
correct.
people do that, but some people what they do is that they pull from this thing and then they give us like they skip so much and they leave
Mm.
some important bits out that you're like, this is lacking this is lacking. And you see a lot of people come out of the
Yes.
cinema or come out of movies and they're like,
They didn't do
why
this.
did
They
they
didn't
put
do
this? So
that.
they didn't do that. And that
Yes.
conversation is all that. And that is a
Yeah.
problem. Now
It
I
is a
prefer it
problem.
if someone cannot do the former, which is the one that you pull and know what to skip and pull, like give
Mm-hmm.
us a good complete arc that starts and finishes it up, especially if you're doing something, give us the origin story. Because I think origin story is always good. Don't just
Okay.
sometimes it's not good to dive in, but if you go origin story, know how to like pick a bit of the origin and then dive into what you need to dive in, then close the game, close the arc. I mean,
Mm.
it's difficult to put
Mm.
everything into 2 hours or 3 hours, but yeah.
Of course. That's
No,
why they end up breaking it into anyway. So
and
that's
they break
obvious.
so
Yeah.
much. But
Mm.
then I think the other side of it that can make it very good is when you break out completely.
And do something completely different, new.
Yes, I think that works a lot. And I think any people that have done that and pulled from somewhere and did that, they nailed it on the head and they did it very well in the sense that I
Mm.
take this character, I want to make a movie on, let me say, Goku, for example. Rather than say go into the whole origin of Goku or go too much. I can even give you the origin story in like a storytelling in the beginning where they say Goku was born in blah 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 and
Yes.
like in that beginning and this is
Yes.
him and then from there just go into a whole different movie, a whole different
Mm-hmm.
arc. Now you
Mm-hmm.
creating a whole different arc for yourself gives you a lot of creativity that you don't have to explain so many things. You can
Mm.
explain the beginning in a story with a man with a deep voice, or you can call Morgan Freeman to do
Of course.
it. And then once that's done, we jump into a whole different arc. You create whatever you want to create. And sometimes you can even pull some bad guys from the story and bring them into this arc, and people will still accept it because you're
Yes.
giving us your own version of a story.
Version of it. Yes. Rather than
That
just trying
works.
to.
And I think it's
Yes.
because of you're trying to copy or trying to get some information or you're trying to get some originality from somewhere else, but then you don't give us everything to make it authentic. It
Mm.
feels like a fake shoe or a
Yeah.
fake whatever you want to call it, fake
Yeah.
designer.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. I mean, it's all those kind of things that worry me about it with this, because honestly, it's one of my favorite games franchises. So I'm like a little worried, and
Favorite games
it's Tom
under God of
Holland,
War.
right? Oh goodness, whatever.
I had to say,
It's
but yeah, it's Tom Holland. Yeah, I believe it's Tom
it's
Holland.
Tom Holland, so I think it's going to be an origin story because it's a young Nathan Drake. It's not, if you know Nathan Drake, you know he's older than what Tom Holland is going to be
Yeah,
playing.
definitely,
So they must be
definitely.
doing a bit of a origin, telling a bit of a different story than what is in the game, kind of thing. So it's just him capturing the essence of Drake. I'm hoping, or the story of it, the adventure of
Do you
Uncharted.
think it
That's
have a
that's what
little
I
bit of?
really want.
Do you think it have a little bit of what's the name of that? You know that one. That this guy Harrison Ford used to do vibes to it.
Harrison Ford.
That movie,
Harrison Ford.
not Tomb Raider.
Oh, oh, that's oh gosh, Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. Do you think they might end up? It might end up being
I,
Indiana
you know what, that
Jonesy.
was That was the worst example or comparison you could have given me because I've never been a fan of Indiana Jones. I'm
I'm not
sorry
a
to
fan
anybody that
either. No,
might
I'm
not
not a
like.
fan. I'm
I'm
not a
not a
fan
fan.
either,
I'm not
like that.
interested. Self.
But I'm
Yeah.
trying to say, like,
I'm not
like
not
what,
even like that. I'm not even interested.
no, I'm saying it I'm not saying it in a positive way. I'm saying it in a bad way. Like, you might end up
In a bad
getting
way.
an Indiana Jones
Heaven, it
trick
cannot. It
or
cannot
Indiana Jones
be. It
Uncharted.
cannot be. Please.
And you don't, and is it
No,
Sony
please
doing it?
don't even call it a trick.
Oh, is it Sony doing it?
Is
Oh,
it?
is
I'm
it
not sure.
Sony?
I'm not
Is it not
sure.
Sony that does
I
the Uncharted
don't.
games? I'm scary here.
You're not scaring me. Look, it's Tom Holland. Tom Holland is a good one. So we're
Sony,
fine. Okay, we'll be fine.
Sony,
We'll
Sony.
be good.
You can confirm, you can
It,
convince
it
yourself as much as possible, but don't forget, Sony.
regardless, it won't be Justice League, Sha, whatever the case might be. So leave that
I'm
one.
sure Sony is
Leave
not have
it.
a hand in Justice League.
Sure. Anyway, I will not answer you. Aside from Uncharted, he had a recent trailer that just dropped. At least I just saw it more recently, which is Cherry. And that one too is
Mm.
a bit of a different story. I think it's some kind of drug addict, ex-vet kind of character in there. So it's quite
Yeah,
heavy.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think I was
Yeah.
mixing up Cherry with the Chaos. I saw Cherry, sorry, I was mixing up with the Chaos Walking. Actually, it's Cherry. I don't know
Okay,
if
no one died. That's what I was saying. Chaos Walking
yeah,
had a
yeah, sorry. It's Cherry that I saw.
sci-fi
I don't,
vibe.
yeah, yeah. I've not, I have to go and check Chaos Walking. I know I've seen the name. I don't know
Chaos,
if I've watched it. I'm going to go
chaos.
and check it again on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean that one is the one that's about men's thoughts. There are no women anymore, and men's thoughts are like on display
Oh,
for everybody to see.
I've definitely not seen it then. Definitely not seen it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you should check it out. It's an interesting
It was
idea
Cherry I meant, which is
that you
something
were
that
thinking of.
brings,
Okay.
yeah, which is something that we're going to talk about. I don't know when, but it's going to be one of these recent episodes, and it's about
Mm,
um, confusing plot. Should I put it like that? Or not confusing plot, but storylines that are kind of so different that a lot of things happen that if you're not using your glasses and zoned in, you're going to miss it completely.
miss it. Okay. Are you talking about plot like Inception style plot or
Yeah,
Tenet style plot?
Inception plot or Tenet style plots and most of those other ones. Like there's some movies. I'm going to bring up all of them. Like I'm going to look for them, list them out, and then we will talk about how some people
Okay.
get sold in the cinema. They just go and watch and they're like, oh, I don't know what happened. I'm just coming out.
I don't know. You
I don't know
come
if I
out and you're
wasted my
confused.
I
Like
don't know if I
what?
wasted money or I feel good or whether I'm sure that I don't know. I don't know whether I'm meant to be happy or sad. What just happened? Did you steal
Okay.
from me?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes, we should do that. Definitely. I have some. I have some in mind. We should definitely do that.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, I think we've covered everything, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. We have. I
Yeah.
mean, it was very Spider-Man, Tom Holland
Yeah.
heavy, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we just so yeah, we dived in and here we are. And so we'll move on to the riders. And you guys would have seen the riders for the previous week. We hope you checked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we
Mm-hmm.
would. So we have the riders for this week, and my rider is. I decided to go back because I gave you a TV show, so I decided to go back to a manga, anime, well, manga, manhwa, or webtoon. I think it's a webtoon, but
Yes.
I just
Okay.
bunched them all into one, and it's
Mm.
called Hardcore Leveling Warrior. I'll just say one or two things about this. Now, I started this ages ago. I did
Mm.
not. I was reading. I was enjoying it, but then I don't know how I stopped reading it. You know, I have that issue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
stopped reading it,
Yes, I know.
and then
It's another time. Mm-hmm.
and I said I would drop it for that time. Then I picked it up like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't stop reading till I finished it. And it's good because there's
Uh-huh.
about 200 and something chapters, so there's a lot to read on. It's really
Okay.
good. It's a weird mix of one of these MMORPG kind of
Okay.
vibes, but it's kind of real at the same time. The way they mix the two worlds together, you would almost not even know it's an MMORPG because you're more focused on the story in the world, in the fake world. But the story in the fake world completely affects the real world as well. So yeah, it's something that you guys should check out. It's pretty good.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. Mine for this week is still a show, but This is this is a K drama. That is a Korean drama. So this is more for people who are into that sort of thing. So I'm not telling those who maybe are expecting your regular kind of thing. Not to say it's not regular, but
Yeah, you just throw yourself.
there's a bit
You just
more.
say it
No,
with
no,
your
no. I'm
chest.
just
Don't
trying
throw
to
yourself
I
under the
am, come
bus.
on. I'm saying it with my chest. Trust me. I'm just saying that you prepare your mind for K drama. That's all.
True,
For
true,
Korean
true.
dramas. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, my pick is my pick is The World of the Married. And yeah, it's I, you know what, if my friend recommended it to me and I started it and I just started binging. Now it's a long thing, so I took one break in between, but it is actually really good, very binge worthy as well. You just get sucked into the whole story of it. So yeah, that's my recommendation. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So The World of the Married, that's what
Yeah,
it is for me.
you know something, and this is
Mm.
based on your recommendation, the world of the married K drama, or
Mm-hmm.
K drama as a whole um, genre.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought to myself and I said, there are storylines that are horrible storylines. Not obviously, this has nothing to do with K drama. I said there are storylines in the world of watching anything, TV shows, entertainment, blah blah blah, that are
Mm-hmm.
so horrible,
Mm-hmm.
and then there are actors that are also so horrible that spoil something. But
Okay.
keeping pushing out of that, and not that their craft is easy, is not in any by any way or form, but pushing out of that, I think there's nothing that is almost not bingeable. That's how I feel. I feel
Okay.
like you can binge on everything. You just have to start watching it. You just have to get into the story. Whether it is K drama,
Mm.
whether it is even if you want Yoruba movies, whatever you want to
Okay.
call it. Just
Mm-hmm.
I think you just have to just start watching it, get into a little bit of the story, align yourself with a character, and then you're hooked. Because
Mm.
sometimes you find yourself, that's what I'm even saying, that even I know you were talking about, and why I mentioned it, because you were talking about people that might not be into K dramas or things of that nature.
Okay.
I'm even saying that obviously I'm not into K dramas either. When I'm trying to say, like,
Yes.
if anybody wants to give it a try, like, wow, that's what I'm even saying, give it a
Try.
try, watch it. Because one thing about things is that you might not know what you're missing out on just because you put
Yeah.
something in a box outside and say it's
Mm-hmm.
not for me, so I'm not
Fair
going to
enough.
watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, I
But
wasn't
then
always into K drama either. I mean,
exactly,
even now,
everybody,
I don't watch a ton.
even anime, you know, like you woke up one day and you say, "Ah, but it's something that someone put you on,
Yeah,
not
and you
me,
tried it.
and it pains me, but someone puts you
Whatever.
on," and then you started watching it, and then at some point, before you know it, now you are not, look at you, you're doing a whole podcast on it. So I'm just trying to
Mm.
say, like, it's
Yeah.
you know, everybody says, "Oh, I can never do this." It's just open your mind and say, let me give it a try. And you never
Mm.
know where to take you. And then you realize that, okay, this is something that is for you, because anything that you feel, anything anybody tries for the first, that has never tried before, they will throw it away. But the moment you open your mind and say, let me try it, whether it's a meal, whether it's some kind of exotic food, whatever it is, you just give it a
Mm-hmm.
taste
It
and just
tastes.
get to understand it. And if it, you never know whether it will align with you. And if it does, you found something, you found a
Good.
new part of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Good advice. Good advice. Look at you sounding all wise and whatnot.
I'm sure you didn't expect me to back up K drama like this. You didn't expect it from
I
me.
know, because I thought you would be rolling your eyes like, oh my
No,
gosh, here
no,
she
no. See,
comes.
see, Ibo, I got your back, yeah. I got you.
Okay.
Which is why I even
Okay,
wanted to
fair
mention. Which is why
enough.
I wanted to mention that I know you recommended obviously everybody has seen what you recommend. You can Bridgerton, and I've not really watched it either.
Mhm.
So I was even going to say,
Mm.
anytime you want to break it down and discuss it, break it down and discuss it. I'm here to even listen, and let me also learn
Oh
from what
yeah.
you have to break down. See, allow yourself.
Okay.
Let us learn.
Okay.
Teach us.
Okay. Okay. I
Sensei
hear you.
us.
I hear you. Mm-hmm. I got you. I hear you. Yeah.
So thank you guys for
Okay.
another wonderful episode. We enjoyed
Yeah.
speaking and sharing this with you. We'll see you on the
Mm-hmm.
next episode. Have a
We
lovely
will
time.
see you. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.